Alright, welcome back, traders, to your weekly live stream here. Your host, Mr. Know-It-All. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this Sunday here. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I unfortunately do not have any really positive news to give you guys. Bitcoin just hanging on, man, by a thread here. You know, we're holding on to this 30K level. You guys can see here pretty clearly that this green box area is kind of this, you know, this support zone for right now, and you know, we keep testing it, and we keep testing this support area, and well, I mean, as long as we don't break these lows, I guess we're okay. But at some point, you know, we're gonna come back down to test that. And if we end up testing it, you know, again, you know, for one, two, you know, a third time, you know, the more times you test the support, guys, the more likely it is to break the support. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at with Bitcoin right now. You guys already know the DXY still looking bullish. I mean, it's here, let's go to the weekly charts. You can see we're starting to put like weekly candles above the moving averages here, and yeah, it might come back down to back test it this week. As long as it's starting to, if it's starting to change this major weekly trend, man, that's not going to be good for markets, right? I just crushed the hopium. Yeah, well, I mean, I want to just be honest with you guys, you know. It doesn't look too good right now for Bitcoin. Okay. You know, we have this negative slope. You know that we're you can see them. We're just starting to roll, man. We're just starting to roll, right? We're about to be making closures below these levels here. We're technically in a weekly breakdown right now. It's not looking too bullish, right? It's not looking too good. You know, if we want to take our fib tool here and kind of get an idea for value areas. Okay. Right. So like we're still up here at the 236 fib extension, but we're technically below it right now. So our next real area, you know, for long term, is this $22,000 area, right? And, you know, on down maybe to the 50% retrace around 15K. And these are all, you know, possible scenarios that we could see, you know, value areas come in at, right? And, you know, that 6-month chart, you know, it kind of lines up with this, you know, $14,000 area, right? Below these wicks. The monthly is still above the moving averages, right? So that's what a lot of people are calling for 27K, and they're calling that because of this pivot line right here, right? So we're, you know, we could hold this area, but it would make more sense for us to come to a major fib level, right? A major fib level. It would make more sense for us to come to a major fib level. All right. Yeah, I mean, they're all below. They're all below the major moving averages, major EMAs, right? So, I mean, basically almost every single time we we try to make an attempted rally, we just get rejected. And yeah, I mean, that's what's kind of happening. You just notice any of the bullish setups that we could be having, like any sort of divergence, like doesn't really play out, right? So I mean, that's what I got, guys. I mean, it sucks, but this is where we're at. We're like in a descending triangle. You know, we're probably gonna see this. We're gonna probably see this break down, guys. All right. Nobody wants to hear that, but we're gonna probably see it break down. And you know, yeah. I mean, this kind of line, the 1272 fib extension, kind of lines up with this major $22,000 area, which, you know, could be a bullish reversal area, right? We've never seen Bitcoin in a bull market, you know, break below its previous all-time high. So 22,000 would be like just right above it. But if I mean, listen, man, if we really do start breaking these lows, it's not going to be, it's going to be months. You know, it could be 6 months, it could be a year before we reverse this trend. All right, so I mean, look at this daily candle right now, man. Does this look bullish to you guys? This looks like doji crap. Like it tried to rally. It couldn't even do anything. Like there's no one buying right now. No one's buying this. No one's buying. Just looks very weak. Very, very weak. Nobody wants to hear bearish news, but hey, I just want to be open and honest with everyone here that this does not look good until we start making closures above 36.5 right here on the daily, right? This pivot right here. This moving average. Once we get above this, okay, then there's a bullish case that we can go to the top of the range, right? But until we do that, we're probably just going to continue to, reject these these areas and continue on down through these supports. This 31.5 area right now where we're at. We start breaking this. We're looking at 28.6. That this low down here, these wick lows down here. I mean, we're barely right now. We're barely closing green on the day on this day. Like we're just hanging on to it, man. ETH kind of the same thing. I mean, yeah, you can argue that we're still making closures above 1,800. Sure, we are. But as soon as we start breaking these lows, man, it's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be good. Not gonna be good. Let's get some longer term perspective on you here, shall we? Again, right, 1760 area. We're above that right now. The 236 fib extension is, I mean, if we reverse here, that's super, super strong. If we do that, where's? Hey, Angel, good to see you too, man. Appreciate you guys joining. Yeah, I mean, this stream's dead, man. We got 10 people watching. I don't expect people to watch right now. It's this market kind of looks like shit. But yeah, $1,000. I mean, we can do anything. If Bitcoin's gonna go down, man, then Ethereum's gonna go with it. And you can already see this negative slope. You're starting to roll here on the weekly. You're in a weekly breakdown. You do have lots of some support here, okay? We touched 1850, and we touched that today. You got your next level of support here on 1780, right on that, right above that 236 fib extension, and then your entire weekly pivot down here at 1500. Okay. We're gonna see how these play out. We're at this area right here on the price flow. You can see we start making closures below this. We're gonna flip the weekly trend bearish, and then like I said, we're gonna we got $1,400 target, which is that previous all-time high for Ethereum, and on down those fibs, right? Wonder how this short's doing here. I'm sure we're gonna get some sort of rally to test the top of the range again, but I don't foresee that happening right now. I mean, not with this type of price action. I mean, one would have thought we would have got this move out here the other day when we started getting these higher lows here, but we couldn't even get back above 30, that 34.7 area. There's not enough buying going on right now, guys. No one's buying Bitcoin. Where's Sailor when you need him, right? But guys, as soon as we start making closures like on monthly candles below 30K, I'm gonna say it again. We could go into like a 6-month to 1 year down market. Yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin's bearish, man, all those other coins are gonna they're also gonna go down. Okay. Yeah. We got a big crowd tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining. And that was sarcasm. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to be wanting to watch this stuff just drop. You can cut through wicks, just don't cut through candle bodies. So when I drew these, I drew them on the daily chart. Dude, it was pretty funny. So I've been running those signals on stream here, and for whatever reason, like the stream got like infiltrated by bots. It was so crazy. There was like 5,000 people watching the stream. I was like, what the F? And like I went on there to like see, who was watching, and it's just a bunch of bots. So weird. Is the bull run over? Dude, the bull run's been over since we broke the 21 EMA on the weekly. It's pretty much been over since we broke this here. When we broke here in May. It's been over. The question is will it ever come back? And it will. It will come back. I just think it might take some more time, man. Like maybe 6 months, maybe a year. I don't know how long. So the monthly 21 is like right around that 26, 27K that everyone's talking about right now. But that could be it. Maybe we reverse right there. I just don't really see that. I don't really foresee that happening now. I foresee a lot deeper of a retrace than what everyone's calling for and expecting. Especially with the stock, the Nasdaq, putting in a weekly bearish candle. Like, this kind of looks like shit, right? Like, that doesn't look good. Absolutely, yeah. I think the stock market's about to get clobbered, man. Like, let's take a look at the UVXY for a second, or the VIX. Right, the VIX. That looks like it's about to rip pretty hard. I mean, that looks like a wedge. Nice wedge. Jared, that's, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it really all depends on if we end up holding 30K or not, man. We're pretty close to it right now. And that weekly candle, like I said, does not look good. Does not look good. Right. This is in a technical weekly breakdown. Right, we could literally just fall straight down to 28, or even this area right here, 27.9. We're sitting, just neutral. Okay, we're neutral on the RSI on the weekly, which is okay, I guess. You could, I mean, the 3-day chart, like maybe there's an argument for some divergence, maybe. The lower low on price. I mean, this doesn't look good. The Bollinger Band's kind of pointed down. And none of this looks good. We're in a squeeze on the 3-day. If we squeeze down, that's going to catalyze multi-days and multi-weeks of downside. Okay? Hope I'm not scaring anybody here. But, yeah, I mean, not really too much you can do when there's no bids, right? I mean, our best case scenario right here today for today's closure is we close back above daily resistance at 31, 31.6. It's pretty weak right now, man. It's pretty weak. Pretty weak, pretty weak. Yeah, I wish. I mean, there is an argument for some divergence here. Maybe. But like I said before, we're in such a downtrend right now that even if this does play out, that it may not be anything significant. Right? You've heard me say this before, like when you're in a bull market and you have bullish divergence, I trade money. I'm not meaning to scare anyone, man. I'm just like, this isn't this like, I don't know, man. Yeah, we're holding the lows for now. Let's get back above 32 too. Is that some good hopium? We're still holding these lows on the 4-hour chart, so that's good, I guess. Just hold 30K, man. That's all you gotta do. Just hold 30K. Chop around, whatever. But hold 30K. Just hanging on by a thread, man. This Garley pattern hasn't done anything, man. Like, not being respected right now. And I thought the 8-hour was coiling today too. I thought we might be setting up for some sort of move. It made an attempt, right? We got up to like 32K this weekend. Man. Boring price action. Boring. Well, like I said before, guys, if you're just joining, if we can hold these lows, we'll be okay. If not, obviously the likely chance right now is that we go down to those monthly and weekly 21 EMAs around 26 to 28K. How does one read swing trends? Get more capital on the way down. Yeah, so you want to just look for value areas. Lots of it has to do with Fibonacci, support, resistance, point of controls, right? If you guys are on TradingView, you can use the volume profile and the visible range, right? So the point of control on the weekly chart is we're right below it, man. Like 30.36, we're below the weekly point of control. Right. Expecting something is not something that you should be doing in any trade, right? So, I mean, it could have a measured move, but it doesn't mean that the entire measured move has to be materialized, or it has to go that direction. So whatever pattern you are trading, make sure you are setting stop losses and setting take profits at areas of confluence, whether that be a moving average, a Fibonacci level, an actual resistance area, or a combination thereof, maybe a supply line or a trend line, right? What I think of the Binance FUD. I mean, I think it's just going to add more fuel to this move down once we get it. The fib extensions are from your most discernible swing high to your swing low, or whatever it is that you're trading. If you're just trading this little range right here, right? So if you're trading this to the upside, you want to be fibbing from this wick high to this wick low, right? And you can see we're sitting right at this 236 fib extension, and if you're trading this to the upside, you'd be targeting, you know, these levels, right? 33, 34.5, 36, right? And if you can see that there is some confluence with the exponential moving averages at each level, right? You can see that. And if you're trading to the downside, just the complete opposite, right? So the reverse. So you can right mouse click on settings and click reverse. So for downside targets on Bitcoin here, we're shorting this, right? We're looking at $31,000 area, $30,000 area, and then the bottom of your fib, 28.8, and then obviously a full-on breakdown, because there really isn't anything here. It's just twig and thatch, meaning there wasn't really too much consolidation range or real like consolidations here. I mean, this is like, this is probably the area, that we're going to be next targeting, right? And so, yeah, 26K, 24K, or 24.8, and then this low here on 23 for downside targets once we break the bottom of the structure. And that's how you use Fibonacci. And if you're looking for long-term values for Fibonacci, not just short-term moves like we're just showing here, you want to actually fib from your major swing low to your major swing high, right? And then in this case, let's just say we're looking to buy more Bitcoin, right? We're looking for these major areas, right? This 382 fib extension, right? This $22,000 area, then this $15,000 area, which I think is probably going to be, the bottom of this of this correction. I don't know when we're going to get there, but if we do get a major move down and we start breaking all these levels, we can start buying at all these major Fibonacci levels, these support levels, because we don't know exactly where the bottom is going to be ever. If someone out there is telling you that they know exactly where the bottom is going to be, and they happen to be right, well, good for them. But it's tough to really call bottoms, man. An average down strategy is probably the best strategy you can have as a trader. Okay. So like I said before, the only real hope for Bitcoin to go back to the upside here is if we don't break the lows, right? We don't break this. I mean, we pretty much, candle body wise, we're in the lowest lows we've seen, right? But monthly candle closures, weekly, obviously the weekly, we're in a weekly breakdown. So monthly candle closure below 30K, which is this level. I mean, we're pretty much right at it. Okay. And, you know, 15K is the bottom of this whole exponential moving average, which is why I'm pretty much targeting that as the bottom, as the real bottom level on the monthly chart. And on the 6-month chart, it's actually right around this candle body of 13.8, so like 14K, right? Like a 14 to 16K area, I think, is maybe another potential bottom. Right. So yeah, next week we could get a back test of this like 33K area, right? That can totally happen, as long as we don't, you know, break. As long as we don't engulf this previous candle, meaning we can't get a candle closure up here, I suspect definitely that we go down. Okay. BTC's not really pumping, man. It's just sitting. Just sitting. Oh, hey, Moon Girl. My full-time trader. No, I am not a full-time trader. I do this part-time. Currently. Um, 8-bit, yeah, at some point. Joey, we are looking at BTC right now. So yeah, I mean, we have to start making higher highs and higher lows. We have not been doing that. We've been just consecutively making lower highs, right? Lower highs and lower lows, right? So as soon as we start reversing the trend, higher highs and higher lows, that's when we can start getting bullish again. We continue to just make lower highs and lower lows, then there's no reason to have this hopium that everyone is hanging on to right now. I mean, there's... Oh, Angel, no worries, man. That's what this session's for. Ask questions, you know, join the Discord community. Check out some of the STP products that we have. You know, like the bands right here. These are good. Can I check ADA? Yeah, sure. Let's check it out. So ADA actually holding up pretty well, right? You haven't really broke these lows just yet. Yeah, you have some support down here. Yeah, I can do ETH, man. Just a second. But yeah, I mean, this is like descending triangle type stuff, right? Right, you already broke this low. Right, and you're breaking down right now. You're in a breakdown. You're gonna come down to these supports now. Yeah, I mean, you can come back up to test this $1.30 area. Yeah, you shouldn't be getting bullish on ADA until you break back above this this $1.45 area, I would say. Okay. On the daily. You can look at ETH, sure. ETH, the same thing. So it's in a same type of structure. Yeah, $2,400 pivot area. If you can get back above there, you know, you could go up to test these areas up here, right? But for now, we're putting in like a rejection, like doji candle. Yeah, we're fine right now. We're still holding above this low, 1,800, right? And once we take out this swing low, you know, we're talking about continuing on down, right? We're talking about continuing on down. 1,500, right? 1,400. Then you come into maybe some value areas down here, right? This 3-2 fib extension is right around $1,000. I mean, that area right there, that's probably going to be a good pickup area, right? For ETH. Again, just looks like another descending triangle, right? From your bottom here to the top. You know, you're looking at you know, a nice short trade, right? 150%, and you may not do this whole move, but you might do like half the move. You know, 75%. You know, that could be a major move down, man. You know, that's talking about, you're talking about $460 on ETH, right? That would be pretty tremendous move down. But it can happen if Bitcoin breaks down. Do I prefer the fib extension or your own horizontal lines? So there's going to be levels in between the fib extensions, right? So all horizontals, I think, should be regarded. You shouldn't ignore them. Like looking left, you can see all these levels here on ETH, right? Like all these lines I'm drawing here, like these are all areas where we could see ETH come to if we start really dropping. But like I said, this weekly candle closure, you know, we obviously, you know, we're in a weekly breakdown right now. What could happen is we could get a move up. Crypto Bob, baby, thank you so much. Appreciate that. We could get a move back up to test that breakdown, right? So, like, if we get a move up right now, people are like, oh, Mr. Know-It-All said we're going to go down. Yeah, I think ultimately we are going to go down if we continue to make closures. Like on Bitcoin, we continue to make these closures below the 21 EMA, below the point of control, and, you know, we continue to test these supports. I mean, technically right now we're going to, if we close like this right now, we're closing back above support, which is good. But this is not like a really good, this is not a good candle, guys. This right here, there was lots of selling pushing this price down, right? So, I mean, smaller time scales, maybe, you know, look, I don't know. I don't really like this. This stochastic looks like crap, too. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, so far we just made lower highs. No higher highs being made. We're holding the lows for now. Where are the buyers, man? We need the buyers. Buyers aren't here, the price doesn't go up. $33.2 is the 21 EMA here on the daily. Let's get above that. If we start making closures above that, there's a good chance we can make a, you know, we can usher a small rally in, or at least maybe get up to or test up to 40,000. That's it. I mean, like that's really it. Dude, let's check the Fear and Greed Index, right? So the Fear and Greed Index is like probably in the 20s still. 19, man, extreme fear. We haven't seen these levels probably since bear market, right? We haven't seen these lows since March, since the Corona crash. Great question. Where did they all go, man? They all just decided to peace out at these extreme greed levels, right? But even in May, when we were at topping, we were still, you know, not at greed levels, which is interesting. And we're gonna go look at the rainbow chart. The Bitcoin rainbow chart is like based off the halving cycles, and we never actually got to like the, you know, the seriously sell areas. So we got to the FOMO areas, but we didn't actually get to the, you know, max bubble territory or the blow off top. We never actually made a blow off top. So there is an argument, or there is a strong case that we don't actually go much lower than, you know, 26, 27K. Possible scenario, right? Angel, that really depends on, you know, the sentiment, the market sentiment, right? And also like the stock market. If the stock market's like tanking, then you know, then how can crypto really rally, right? I mean, Bitcoin definitely still follows the equities market, big way. So, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, Bitcoin trying to close green here for the day. Right? Hanging on to this low, man, by a thread. We got to start seeing some higher highs and higher lows come in for a real reversal, man. That's what we really got to see. Yeah, we're just sitting here. You guys have any other tickers you guys want to go through? I was looking actually at some. There was maybe a couple equities that do actually look interesting, and this is one of them. Although we are below, you know, all these moving averages right here, but I like what I'm seeing on the RSI. So we made this low and we made this higher low. So we put in some divergence here. You can see, right, the low and the higher low on the RSI, but the low and the lower low on price. So we could see this asset actually maybe stage some sort of reversal. Maybe this is like a channel. Algo? Yeah, we can take a look at it. Just take a look at that real quick. Alright, so Algorand 45 on the RSI on the weekly. Sitting, I mean, towards the bottom of these EMAs, man. I mean, like you can see, as anytime it went under the EMAs, it's a buying opportunity, right? Above it, selling opportunity, and below it, buying opportunity, right? So this asset did a 78.6% retrace so far, and it's just range bound between the 786 and the 50% retrace area. So we could look at this as a rectangle right now. Right, just sitting in this range. So these lows not really divergence because it is confluent with the price action. Yeah, man. So as long as you're holding above these lows, I guess you can try to see if you can break the supply line. But it's going to be tough if Bitcoin isn't able to do that, right? So, but you would think that if Bitcoin does start to make moves up, and we could see this eventually try to break the supply line, back test this area again as support, and maybe try to make these higher highs and higher lows to get eventually to the top of the range, and then maybe make a big cup, and try to break out of it. Right? But that's only if Bitcoin decides to break up. I mean, there is an argument that you're at a major trend line here as well, right? You can see you're awfully close to this trend line. So there's some hopium for Algorand here, right, guys? Some hopium. Let's see if Bitcoin can make a move up, man. I think it's trying to right now. See if we can make closures. Like I said, guys, that a magic area is that 36K area for Bitcoin, right? But like I said, we're technically in a weekly candle breakdown right now. You know, we could have even closed up at 32,250, which is where I think we actually went up to today, or close to it. And you know, we could rally all the way up to 33K and still be in a downtrend, right? So we got to take out this weekly bearish candle at 34.3 or 34.4. Right, we got to take this out, man. We got to take this out. We got to close this week above $34,300, man, to get a move up. That's what we want to see. All right. Well, the 5-minute trend just changed. Probably gonna put another lower high in. See. Interesting candle here on the hourly, that's for sure. Just remember where that weekly bearish engulfing candle is, guys, where we need to close this week. I do think we might see upside this week just to back test that breakdown. Okay. dot actually just looks like it's due for, you know, a retrace. Crypto bot, baby. That's right, man. That's right. Wouldn't be surprised if dot came up to here and rejected it. And for what? Bitcoin? Depends what time scale you're looking at, man. We have a really nice indicator. It's called the support and resistance levels, right? And on the daily chart, you can see these resistance points here on the daily. Right? They sort of line up for where the boxes are here. And then if you go to the 4 hour, you can see some more. So on the 4 hour, our next real resistance area is interesting. It's actually confluent with this, you know, right below this moving average, right? 32.5 area on the 4 hour is what we're looking at for resistance on the 4 hour. On the hourly, well, we actually might break on the hourly here. That's interesting. Yeah. Right, so the hourly is up here around 32.2, and then our next real resistance around 32.4, and then you have an actual Fibonacci that's going to definitely act as resistance up here on 33K. Okay. Now, line charts are actually easier to see where the price movements go. That's why I went to a line chart for you guys, right? I mean, guys, if we close this hourly below here, if we close the hourly below, that's a double top, right? So we'll make an hourly double top, and you can actually confidently take a short trade here if we don't break this area, this 31,815 area, right? I'm saying if because we probably will break this high, so. But if we don't, that would be a clear short opportunity, right? A double top. Anything else you guys want to look at? XRP, right? That was one. Let's look at that. Okay, have that one on. Poloniex. Yeah, man. So the weekly broke is going into a downtrend here, right? But as you guys know, you want to be buying when you are below these areas. All right, every single time you went below was a good buying opportunity. Good below, good buying opportunity. Below, good buying opportunity. Oh, we can look at GME. Sure, man. It's no problem. Guys, do not be shy, man. I'm glad to look at whatever you guys want to look at. I do this once a week for you guys. and so you guys can get an idea of where we think some of these assets might go, right? So. I actually think I drew this from here. This flag. So yeah, maybe a breakout, or maybe a swing failure pattern, double top and then come down and then go. Yeah, good to me. No, my problem, man. No problem. My pleasure. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look too good, right? Need a high, and then a lower high on the RSI, but a higher high on price. That's a bearish divergence, which is what is playing out right now. Okay, we're seeing this divergence play out. But as long as you make a higher low, you know, than 21 cents, then you're making higher highs and higher lows. You're still in an uptrend. I mean, you haven't broke, you know, the 270 area technically, so you know, you're not in a macro uptrend, but you're in a short-term uptrend, you know, from this break. I guess I had this drawn out like this originally. This pennant. So yeah, we'll see how this does, man. XRP, they've been having some trouble, right? All right, man, we're coming in for the daily close, and it's not looking too hot. It's not looking too hot. We didn't really do too much in these last, you know, 5 to 15 minutes. And all right, here's your new daily candle open, weekly candle open. Like I said, we could probably come up to like touch 32.6 and reject it to then continue on down, or because we're already in a weekly down move, we could just continue to see the selling. So you know, we might get some confirmation in terms of this lower high, or we could just start selling off right now. Yep, and there's that hourly lower high I was talking about on the line chart, right? And so this is an easy short, right? So we got this M shape right here. You know, you can take a short trade, and you can set your stop Angel, it can if Bitcoin retraces, right? But it doesn't look like too promising at all. Looks like we're going to see you know, probably continuation down. Yep. Look at the daily. Could you consider this has a head and shoulder pattern from the 21 of June? Let's look at the daily. No, it's not a head and shoulders pattern, but I think that this is more of a descending triangle. Okay. Right, we have our supply line here, and it looks like we already broke on the daily. You can see we already broke this support, but we came back above it, and so now we're back above this support, but it looks like we're gonna come back down now to test this again. So, but yeah, this is like this is this support, right? And we have this triangle right here. 1, 2. We have a break, and then it came back above on the daily for now. It's very weak. Very, very weak. Yeah, we had a red weekly candle, man. That's what we had. Yep. Well, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. Hopefully, this was an informative session. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news that you know, Bitcoin isn't looking too good right here, right now. We're not really getting any help from the oscillators. We are sitting still neutral on the RSI on the weekly chart, but obviously all the other time scales are bearish. Okay, 37 on the RSI is bearish. The daily is sitting at around 40, so I guess neutral for the daily chart. You know, there is one argument here is that we are sitting in the daily green band area, okay, and that we did get back above this daily support. We closed above it, okay, and it's possible, like I said before, it's possible that we see Bitcoin try to get up to this $33,000 area, right? And we could test up here, but like I said, if we don't make a closure this week above $34,300, it's still bearish, because unless we engulf this previous weekly candle, we're just going to continue on down. Okay. So don't get caught up in this like BS pump that we might get, because we might get that. We might get a pump that just sucks everybody back in, or attempts to. I don't become bullish on this asset until we start making closures above $36,200. Okay, let's get a candle closure above this. Crypto baby, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I don't get bullish, meaning trend reversal, or at least a short-term reversal, until we get above 36,200 on a daily candle closure. Okay. So, all right, guys. Well, hopefully this was informative, and trade safely if you are trading, and make sure you guys set stop losses and take profits, and never use more than 2% of your trading account on any given trade. And this isn't financial advice, remember that. And so make sure you guys smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel, and join the Discord to be part of the one of the greatest communities out there. And we'll catch you guys in the next